Hello, everybody. I'm Dane Gentry. This is Tired of Being Knocked Down podcast. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Tonight, I'm going to have Nick B with me. We're going to be talking about learning to live again. Learning to live again covers a whole lot of different things you could have went through. As everyone knows, I'm big on sobriety and addiction and talk about them things. But it could be anything, man. Losing your job, uh, your marriage. I mean, it could be so many different things that we go through in life that we have to learn how to live again from. Take a man who was married at a young age. What's going on, Nick? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
how's it going?
Oh, it's going good, man. I can hear you now.
Good.
It's going good, man. I've had a pretty good day. Um, I ain't had a lot of sleep, but I can't. For some reason, man, if I'm in the bed past about 8, I can't do it. I got to get up. And no, I've always been that way. I'm always been a morning guy, uh, early morning guy. I like to get up and drink my coffee and kind of get my thoughts right. How's your day been?
Oh, it's been good. Just straightening up the house, getting some things done for my dad's party tomorrow night.
Your dad's party?
Yeah, he's 80 years old. Very
80
old.
years old. What kind of health is he in?
Oh, he's in pretty good health. I mean, he's still physical and active.
Wow, that's awesome. Beth's mother remarried, and the guy that she's with now, they are 80 and 81. And man, he still cuts trees, or not trees, but limbs and cuts grass and drives back and forth to North Carolina about, I don't know, once every couple of weeks. He's in great shape. His father was too. I think his father was 103 or 104 when he passed. Very, very intelligent man, both of them. Um, and he's still got his mind about him, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I hope I live that long.
Yeah, man. I want to too. I want to have a long life now because of the way my early life went. You know what I mean? Um, I had a strange night. It wasn't a strange night last night, but I didn't expect that call. I was in the bed, and um, that's what you're supposed to do. And I really wasn't trying to advertise it that way. I just did the show, and at the end of it, he kind of threw that in there. But I just had the idea because I wanted him to talk. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we need more times than not. We just need somebody to listen to us, and but I wanted him to get his mind off of what he had, what his mind was on. So I said, "Well, take me just to go." You know what I'm saying? So it worked out. He's a younger guy, but he's a good guy. A good kid. His story's a lot like mine. Started so young, um, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. Learning to live again, because that covers us on so many different things. No matter what we've went through in life, a lot of times we have to learn how to live again. How
Right.
do we do that? What do we do? Well,
What
the
did you
first thing you
do?
got to do, huh?
What did you do?
What did I do? Man, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I hit my knees and I prayed to God and I said, "Here I am, man. I know you're real. I feel like you got something more for my life you want to do. Here I am. I'm open." And I threw my hands out and said, "Here I am." That's the first thing I did. The second thing I did is I learned how to live again because I didn't know how to live because either Beth has took care of me or I was on the inside and I didn't know how to live as a free man. So um, one thing I did, the first thing I actually talked to a guy or a messenger guy from Florida, a friend of mine. He worked in a treatment center, but this is what I did. I got a backpack and I put two changes of clothes in it. Um, and I think a couple cans of dip, I think, and that was about it. No money. And I got on an airplane and I flew to Florida and I said, I don't want no help from nobody. I want to completely learn how to live. And that's what I did. I went into treatment and I got the little life skills and stuff they gave me there. And then I just became determined more than anything, man. Um, I was determined that I was going to make it and I was going to make it on my own. And I did. Um, but I did so many different things though. I started journaling. That was a big thing for me. I started focusing and seeing what I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, Prayer was huge. Talking to people, getting out of my comfort zone. That's a big thing, especially in recovery. You got to get out of your comfort zone and try something different. As far as someone who's been through a divorce, and you take someone, for instance, if their high school sweetheart and they marry and they've been together 30 years, man, they get divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
that's all they knew.
that's all they knew. And so you have to, especially because like Beth cooks and cleans and does all these things. You know what I mean? That's her. I mean, that's what she does. She's just very clean and an amazing cook. And, but I can get by. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so I put my nose to the grindstone and said that, I wasn't going to be defeated anymore and I was going to live. And you have to will it, man. You have to will it. It's not going to be easy, but it's not meant to be. Because all that really, what that done is it showed me so much about me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, like I learned really, how strong of a person I was. Because when I tell you, I went down there with no money. I'm sitting here right now trying to remember and think, did Beth give me any money throughout? And I don't think so. If so, maybe $10, $20 for some dip or something, maybe once or twice. I'm thinking on, but I went to this program, and Florida's different, and they had like you would go to residential, detox, and then you would go to what's called residential, and then what's called PHP. In PHP, you could work, and
Right.
so I got healthy. That was the biggest step. Hello there, Anisha. Um, and I got healthy, man, and I got right in my head, because you have to go through a lot because your emotions are all over the place. You know what I mean? And I didn't really realize how messed up my emotions were. I still had the best to come, but um, and so I feel like I made a routine too. Also, that's big, I think, and I think that's what treatment is really for, is to get you in a routine or a habit, whatever you want to call it. That's what it's designed to do. Get up, make your bed. A lot of people don't understand the meaning of that. Why do people want you to make your bed? Why is that so important? Do you know the answer to that?
Well, I do now because you just told me.
Well, it's really because I learned this
Get
from a
into the
guy
habit.
that was, well, it's a habit, but also when you wake up in the morning and you reach over and you make your bed, you've completed the first task of the day. And so in your mind, you've already had an accomplishment for the day. That's what it's all about. Um,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, and I learned that from he was a Navy SEAL guy, and he was giving a speech to some people that were graduating, and he said that, and I was like, well, I'll be damned. No wonder they always want to talk about making your bed. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so that's what it does, something to you mentally, they say. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if that to be true, but it makes sense to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you explain it that way, yeah.
I did so many things though during that time that, everybody told me I couldn't do it. And the more you told me I couldn't, I'm kind of a hard headed fella, you know what I mean? And
The more
the
you
more they
push
told me
for
I
it.
couldn't do it, I was bound determined I was going to. Like in the PHP part, you got to remember, I'm still in treatment. So I decided I was going to work in a drug treatment. And they were like, nobody's going to hire you. And I only had a driver's license. I didn't have my social security card. And in Florida, that's a big thing. You got to have it to get a job. And I, uh, I was like, well, if y'all will allow me to work at a treatment center, I think I can get a job at one. And they're like, well, go ahead, good luck. Just thinking it wasn't going to happen. But what they didn't know is that I'd already been journaling about it. I already had a picture board about it. And every morning I'd wake up and tell myself I was going to. Not only was I going to go work at one, I was going to be the lead supervisor in a matter of no time. That's what I would tell myself every day. And so I started going to these treatment centers, and I went to like 4 different ones and had interviews or filled out applications. And I was sitting in one, and I was talking to the lady, and I really didn't like what she had to say about the pay and different things. And my phone rung, and I looked at it, and it was the job that I really wanted, the one that I really wanted to work at. And he called me, and I went, and I got hired. And 6 weeks later, I was the supervisor. Uh,
Hmm.
and I could have been the director of operations, but the guy who owned it lived in Canada, and he would fly in because this was in West Palm Beach, Florida, and he flew in one day, and me and him it got pretty cool. He was a good, really, really, really good guy. And he said, I want you to be my director of operations, man. He said, I want you to start training right now. And I had worked there for like 3 months. And I said, all right, because I didn't understand like what all I had to go through to get it or whatever. And he said, Friday, I'm gonna need you to go down to the sheriff's department and get fingerprinted. And I said, I can't do that. And he said, why? And I said, because I got a parole violation on me. And he said, damn, Dane. And he was like, I wish there was another way. I hire you under a shadow company. I can't do that. And I was like, no. He said, I'm not letting you go. He said, I'm just going to keep you where you're at. And I was like, all right, man. And he said, well, how serious is it? And I said, it's pretty serious. And I said, I said, I only have like 4 months left to do though. And he's like, how long have you been doing all this? And he said, how come we don't know this? And I said, you never ask, you know what I mean? And he was like, wow. But the whole Social Security card thing, the guy hired me. And then about a week into it, the lead counselor guy, the head, the treatment coordinator, whatever they call it, he calls me in his office and he says, I need your Social Security card. And I said, I don't have one. And he said, you don't have one? And I said, not right now. I mean, I could get it. And, but I couldn't get it. And I'll tell you why in a second. And he says, man, I've never done this before in my life, but I'm going to take you at your word. What's your Social Security number? See what I'm saying? How,
Mm-hmm.
you have to, whether you call it faith or being positive or whatever you want to call it, man, you have to will it in, man. You have to speak it into existence. But that goes both ways. You can speak bad as well. You get me?
Oh yeah.
People don't understand that, man, because in my beliefs, I know everyone on here is not going to believe in God and all them things, and that's okay. But in my beliefs, that's the only time the devil can hear you is when we speak it out loud. He can't hear what you're thinking in your mind. He can only hear what we say, and that's what we do. But then some people say, well, if that's true, when you're speaking all this positivity, this wouldn't he get in the way? No, because God, you're having faith now. That's what it's all about. Um, but the Social Security, he did that. But the Social Security thing was, ever since I was a kid, something was wrong with my Social Security number. What? I don't know. But like most people can get one through the mail. Hey, Mama Bear. And I couldn't because something when I was born, it was something to do with my Social Security card. And um, I couldn't get one. So I could just know I couldn't go back and go in there, because when you go up here in Tennessee, uh, you have to go in the office. They've got police and stuff in there. So I never would have done that with them providers. You know what I mean? They
Right.
won't get, I have to go in person to get it. I don't know if there was somebody else. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was or why I can't get one. But even when I was in prison, they have like a um, I can't remember what they call it now. It's just kind of like a pre-release class or whatever, and they work on getting all that stuff for you. And there was like 6 of us getting out, and I was getting out or something. And everybody got their Social Security card, but me, I got a letter saying I had to appear in person. So uh,
So do
I
you
don't.
got one now?
I still don't have one. No, I have one, and I lose them all the time, man. Well, matter of fact, Nick, I bet I do. Best got one of mine, or got the latest one. As a matter of fact, yeah, I don't have it personally right here with me, but. And
Yeah.
she may not even, because I lost a wallet. I lost my wallet about,
But you got a number, right?
oh, yeah, I got a number. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Maybe
got a
find
number.
you
I mean,
somehow or get you something. I mean, I don't know what.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, when it hasn't been a real pressing a thing because when you work for yourself, you know what I mean? You don't have to have those things. But I had it, got it, and then I lost my wallet. Then we got me another one. But for some reason, I think I lost that. I wish she was on here, but she's got a lot going on. She was going to come on, but she got a lot going on tonight. But so I really don't know if I got one or not, man. Mama Bear, how you doing this evening? Everybody good? So the learning to live again thing, to me, it starts with whatever words you want to use, whether it's positivity or faith, because whatever it is that's knocked you off your feet, if you stay in that, you're not going to learn to live again. Oh, watching the snowfall. Where are you at? Oh my goodness, I don't even want to hear that word, man. That snow about took us out here. We're not used to it like that, man. We this snow. Oh, okay. You're in Canada too. Oh, okay. Um, so um, we don't get snow like that here, and we had the most snow that I can remember since I was a kid here. This time, um, I
What do
forgot
you
where I
mean
was
you
at,
don't get
Nick.
cold down there?
Huh?
What do you mean you don't get snow down there?
We don't get a lot of snow here in
In
Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Not in my part of Tennessee.
Oh.
I'm in Middle Tennessee. Um, we
Because you're right
get.
underneath Kentucky, right?
I am, but I'm down a little bit. I'm about let's see, about an hour from Kentucky. But this part, they did some kind of explanation about, but like up on the plateau and stuff in East Tennessee, they get it. Um, but our area, a lot of times, man, it would be to the west of us and the east, but our little area wouldn't get it. And then what we would get, we might get half an inch or something like that. We had some places had 9 inches this time, so that's a lot.
Hmm. Yeah, we
I
got
had about 5.5 inches at my house.
we got
Then it
about
turned.
2 inches here last night, and I know
Wow.
Mama Bear, I think, still snowing up there, but I know she got snow all day. But we had some last night, but just enough to get the roads messed up, for the morning drive.
Yeah. See, you guys are used to it. There I said, you guys, y'all are used to it. Um, we're here. We've had a bunch of ice storms that were pretty bad throughout my life. Uh, I remember them. I remember one time, we lived in a trailer and we had a bad ice storm, but we had a kerosene heater, so we was cool. Everybody else didn't have no heat, so they'd come to our house to stay warm. But
That sucks. Huh?
yeah, and
Go
then the
get your own
second
damn
time,
heater.
yeah, and the second time, the one we had, we lived in a little bitty. It's just like a little block house, man. It's like a little 1 bedroom house, but we had a wood stove in that, so we was all right again. Uh, the wood stove will run you out of there. That's actually where my drug addiction really took off. Was there in that little house I'm talking about. Man, I ain't thought about that in a long time, man. That little house there. Um, it's still there. That little house is still there. They took in, Franklin, Tennessee is where I grew up at, and it's changed so much, man. It's just not the same place anymore. And they've made roads here. You know how it is and develop stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
that little house is still sitting there. Um, I haven't been by there in a while, but a lot of bad memories there. I
You may
thought were
not want to go
good.
by it then.
I
Well,
hadn't thought of.
maybe it do you some good.
That's the same thing. I was talking to a guy about it the other day, and we was talking about the past, and I said, no. He kept saying he wants to shut the door on it. I said, that's okay, but leave the window open. You're shutting the door on it. That's fine. You have to be okay with it, but you don't want to forget about it, man. I want to remember. I want to remember laying on the floor so sick I can't move, and all these things. You know what I mean? I want to remember coming to and not knowing what's going on. The only thing I know is I've got cops all around me, and they just saved my life. And it's still the first thing you think about is where's my dope? It's man. I mean, looking back at all that stuff, Nick, it's just I just thank God, man, that He pulled me through it and pulled me out of it, and I'm here now, hoping I can pull somebody else out of it. And it's a tough
Oh,
life, man.
just
And
keep doing what you're doing. It'll work.
oh yeah, oh yeah, it's working
You
already.
sound like
God
you
is,
helped someone last night.
yeah, man. I did, and um, that was very rewarding. I will say, not boasting or any of those things, but I need those things too, man. You know what I mean? I don't
You
think
did
I'm an
more last
attention.
night than a lot of people can do in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it was. I sit there all night long, man, and talked and just talk, just listen. That's all you got to do, really. In most cases, is listen, and that's what I did. And I talked to him about 2 hours ago. He's good. Um, your first year of sobriety is a tough thing, man. Um, it just is. Everybody wants to make it to that year when you really don't. Just man, don't worry about that, man. Worry about today.
Yeah, make it
Just
today and you got it made tomorrow.
right. Let's just make it through another day. Wake up every day, and whoever your higher power is, and whatever you find your power in that's greater than you, ask it. Please, people have used some crazy things, man. Doorknobs, shoes, frogs, rocks, potatoes. Um,
What are you
I've heard
talking
all
about?
kind of. Yeah, that's their higher power. They just believed that it had a power greater than themselves. But what I will say is that I don't know any of those cases that didn't finally turn around to it being God. And so, you know,
I was somewhere. Oh wait, maybe it may have been on my show. I had someone we were talking about that. They said they
yeah,
don't believe in God, but um, what religion was he? I don't remember. But so yeah, I know. There are some different beliefs, but that's okay. They got something they believe in.
yeah.
At least that's how I look at it. At least that'd be
That's exactly what they're trying to get you to do, because agnostics and stuff, man, when they come in, they do not want to hear. I'm inviting somebody in that called in just now. I didn't even see who it was. I just hit. So we got somebody coming in with us.
that's okay. Um,
Well, I thought they were.
I guess my question
Oh,
was
here we
going to
go.
be
Um, and so,
Daddy. Huh.
yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him. How you doing tonight? Hello, you on here?
Hmm. I don't know.
Hello.
Anyway, hey, how you
Hello.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, man.
Oh, sweet. What's
Yeah.
this podcast about?
It's about just, man, I guess hope and strength, recovery, addiction, but
Oh, sweet.
anything you may have, going on that's beat you down in life. You don't have to be any of those things, man. I just want to be that positive voice for you if you need it, or if you just need to vent, whatever. We just try to keep it clean as we can. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
that's
I appreciate you guys doing that. I just wanted to hop on here and tell you guys that you guys are doing awesome, and I appreciate that.
all right, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Um, the whole idea is because if you have someone that's agnostic or so, you got to think, man. You take an alcoholic or a drug addict, they're just beat down, and a lot of them may be mad at God or have come to not believe in God. So if you start pushing God immediately down their throat, they're going to
They
run
start regretting it
right.
or
They're
resenting
going
it,
to,
I guess. Not regretting
yeah,
it.
exactly. And so that's why you say anything you higher power, whatever you're higher, you just came to believe that power greater than yourself could restore you to sanity. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the whole key right there. Because we are definitely not sane when we're living that life. A guy who um, is a big part of me being sober. Um, I haven't talked to this guy, and man, Nick, I don't know how long it's been a while, and he was my counselor, man. And today, he reached out to me, man. And it was awesome. He didn't know what I had going on or anything. You know what I mean? I haven't talked to him in so long. He was just so stoked for me and stuff. And I was like, man, it's probably about,
Mm.
I don't know. It's been probably close to 3 years since I even spoke to him, I think, or whatever. But he's a really good guy, and he's still working in treatment and doing good. And it's really good to hear from him. Um,
I see that.
huh?
Go ahead.
He's the one who, like, I used to wouldn't talk and stuff. Like, I would go in here and, I was just had this mean look on my face, but all that was to keep you from trying to call me out or whatever. You know what I mean? And so I'd sit there, and he's the one that finally he was like, "Well, if you want to go to the next level and be able to get a job, you have to share your story." And I was like, "Man, that sucks doing me like that." You know what I mean? and
Yeah.
he did, and I did it, and he was like, and there was a couple people in there, and they was like, "You just don't know how many people have been waiting to hear that." We were so excited, and I kept wanting you to tell more, and I was trying to get through it. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's good to hear from him, and he's a good guy. Um, but
I see
yeah,
the, well, you know how I quit. You know,
yeah,
I see that guy about once a month and still today. And it's been what, since 97?
mm,
I still give that guy a hug.
I know you do, my friend.
That is honest truth. I give him a hug every time I see him about once a month at a show. And,
Wow, that's awesome.
but,
Did you did you did I tell you it's nice to see you on Podbean? I love you. Thank you so much, Mama Bear. I need to hear that, man. That you what you just said right there just reiterated again that I'm doing the right thing. I need to hear those things, man, because I'm that kind of person. I feel like, oh man, people aren't wanting to hear this, or they're tired of hearing this, or um, because I want to be. I'm one of them people that I want to be successful in everything that I do because I was so unsuccessful in life for so long. So it's huge to me. It's just a big thing. So thank you so much. That made my day. Did I tell you, Nick, about the situation last night? The early situation about the meeting that what went on there?
Well, I know you went to the meeting. You
Yeah.
texted me or
So
told me you were going to a meeting.
here's what happened. I went to a Celebrate Recovery meeting. Do you know what that is?
I'm familiar with them. I've never been
Okay.
to a meeting, but
It's a so anybody that was to listen to this, what it is it's a church God based. It's not religion. It's just they're all at churches. And they're every day, every night except for Sunday nights because they have church on Sunday nights. But it's just like it's for everybody, no matter what you may have going on. You have like one big group. They're 2 hour meetings where most meetings are just an hour. So you have like a big group, and then you'll break down into smaller groups. Of course, I would go with the addictions, and then it could be for overeating, anger, sex, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They have it
so
there,
it's all in one.
all in one. But you split up in groups to go and work on your individual hang-ups. And
Right.
so what they do there is a little bit different. Like when you go to an AA or NA meeting, you say, if I'm going to speak, I'm going to say, hello, my name is Dane. I'm an addict. And I've always had a problem with that. You get me? And so in Celebrate Recovery, it's like you say this you would say, I'm a faithful believer in Jesus Christ or God who struggles with addiction. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
addiction is not who I am, it's something I struggle with. And so, but so this whole story here was really crazy because I picked this meeting out of the blue. I was going to go to one of them Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night, and something happened. I couldn't go to it. And then I was going to go to another one on Wednesday. Something happened, and I couldn't make it happen. And then I was like, I'm bound and determined. I'm going tonight because I've been saying I'm going. I'm going. Well, I get there, and I walk in, and I don't know any of these people here. You get me? I'm not in my normal crowd here. And this guy comes up to me, and I'm big on how you shake my hand. And if you look me in my eye, I'm one of them kind of guys, right? This man
Okay.
shook my hand like a man would and looked me in my eyes. And it's like he made a beeline to me, and he just, was inviting me in or whatever. And so, um, I kind of need to back up because I kind of got ahead of myself. A few years ago, Beth, her knee was messed up, like the cartilage in it or something, and she needed some of that gel stuff or whatever put inside of her knee. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. For
And
pain.
so, yeah, and we go to get this done, and we go. It's just like in an office or whatever, and there's this
Okay.
guy there, and he's doing it, and I'm still using drugs at this time when this is going on when she's doing this, and it was a really bad time, and I was really strung out really bad, and looked like death, and she thought I was going to die any moment, and she really had no one to reach out to because her mom was older. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so she had to go back and do it again. Well, the next time she went back, I wasn't there, and she goes in there, and the guy comes in, and he's doing it, and Beth just breaks down and starts crying, and he's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" And she just spilled it. You know what I mean? Just said, he's whatever it was I was doing, and he says. Well, me and my wife started a Celebrate Recovery meeting in such and such place, and maybe you could talk him into coming there. He said his brother struggled with addiction, and that they had at the time, a 6-year-old son who had a very rare form of cancer, and he was going to die. There was, so they were basically waiting on their child to die. And I mean, you can only imagine what that would be like. And so, this is years ago, and it passes whatever. So I go in there, I go to that meeting, and this guy comes up to me, shakes my hand, and he's like, listen, are you familiar with Celebrate Recovery? And I said, I've been to one or two of them, but I'm not very familiar with them, but I'm interested in them. And so he says, well, instead of splitting out into groups after the big group, he said, we'll have a newcomers meeting. Me and my wife do it. Once you come in, I was like, okay, I'll sit there for that and see,
Pour some.
hear the ins and outs of it. And so we sit down there, and there's a few other people there too, some guys and some women. And the very first thing this guy says is, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything happens for a reason, and we're here tonight for a specific reason. And I was like, well, maybe, what I mean, maybe he might be onto something. Kind of like what he said. And so they start sharing. He shares about himself, and then I'm not going to go into that because they're never deep at stuff. But and then his wife shares, and she says that she didn't have a drug problem. She had an anger problem and codependency, this and other, and that they had lost a child at 7 years old to cancer, but it still hasn't clicked to me. Okay. I hear this, And but I remember Beth telling me about this, but I'm still not catching on to it, right? And so they say that, and he talks, and then we talk, and I said to him, how long I'd been sober and these things, and so after the meeting, he's like, "Hey, Dane, you want to talk a minute?" I was like, "Yeah, man." And so we stood there and talked, and I told him I'd be back next Thursday. I liked it, and I said that I had other things that I do, and sponsees and these different things, other obligations, but I would definitely be back next Thursday. Um, and so I go outside, I get in the car, and as soon as I get in the car, it clicks to me. That's this man. You hear me? That did
Right.
this. That did this surgery or not surgery, but put that stuff in her knee. And I was like, I called Beth and I said, I couldn't remember what he looked like, Nick. You gotta remember I was on dope. You know what I mean? When I saw him, and so I
Right.
explained to her, and she sends me a picture, and I said, that's him. But he also said that they had left that one and went and started one at another church, but due to funding,
Oh, I
they had to
didn't know
shut it
that.
down, and just recently come back here. But to me, it's just like God pulled this whole thing full circle, and there's something there that I need to really look into this, or at least have a friendship with this man. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Even if I choose not to do celebrate recovery, but uh, you know, I'm I'm huge. I guess you could call it fear, man. I'm scared. You know what I mean? I'm scared to change what's working, man. You know what I'm saying? Um,
I
but at the
understand.
but at the same time, it's the
You got to
same,
learn though.
huh?
You still got to learn other ways to keep from.
Right. That's this whole learning to live again thing. That's why I've got
Oh,
this idea because,
Mama Bear.
huh?
I did not know that, Mama Bear. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I'm so I didn't even say I just now saw it. I'm so sorry. I just can't.
Mm, I,
I can't imagine that pain.
yeah,
It take a lot of faith to get through that, and especially to see the genuine happiness and joy on this man and woman's face, and then I just couldn't imagine. I don't think there would be any worse pain in the world. Mm. So, we man. So this man, the celebrate recovery thing is. I gotta get my shit together here.
yeah.
The
Take your
celebrate
time.
recovery thing is it's the same thing. It's all the steps and principles. They just add God and verses of the Bible to it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You get a sponsor. You do all these things. So I'm going to go back next Thursday, like I told the man I would. I actually called his office and left a message to him, but that's all confidential or whatever. So I'm already striking up a friendship with this man because I think there's something there. God pulled this whole thing full circle for a reason, the way I see it. And so,
Oh, it is. You're.
um,
Let
and
me
there's
ask you,
nothing.
where did you meet the football player? Didn't you tell me you met a football
That's
player?
him. That's him.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah,
wondering if that
yeah,
was him.
that's him. Um, I'm not going to give his name or anything
No,
because,
that's fine.
yeah. So I'm gonna have him on, man. I'm gonna do a show with him. We're gonna decide on how we want to do it because of anonymity and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and
Well,
how we can get around that. I'm sorry, Mama Bear. You got me, dadgummit.
me
You had
too.
me
Don't
there,
worry about it.
and that's something I don't do. I went through a crying stage when I got sober. Oh my God, it was awful. I needed to do it because I used to say, man, I wish I could cry. And Nick, when I started crying, I couldn't stop, man. It was for days. It was just
You
like,
know, as bad as I'll watch a movie nowadays, and I never used to cry when I had my addiction,
yeah,
but I'll cry now. Mm, I'll watch a good love story. Just I'll cry. Mm.
it's
So it's good for you, though, man. It's
man,
good.
there's nothing wrong with it in the world, man. I've always had to walk around this tough guy persona, man. I'm a bigger guy, and the
Well,
things I've been through, and it was all like a protection thing. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. Because I've said this many times. 'Cause at the end of the day, I was just a scared little boy crying out. You know what I mean?
well, I think that's the addiction because you got now a front you had to put up.
Yeah, and you do, and because if you don't, that life there is that that life and everybody in it's going to run you over. And the same thing with prison. It's the
I don't
same
know. See, I
exact thing.
never went there. I went to jail quite a few times, but not prison. I don't know if I could handle that.
I know you do, Mama Bear. And I don't. I don't have the answers. I wish I did, because people say the same thing. My God, I don't know. What I believe is need an angel, and I do believe that I've never been to jail ever. Thank God for that. Yes, thank God for that. I'm glad you haven't either, and I'm glad you didn't go to prison, Nick. And I'm glad I
Well,
made it through it.
it even just going to jail. I think the longest I ever did was 3 months, but it messed up my whole life anyways back then. I lost my
Yeah.
jobs. You lost the respect of everybody, and I
Hmm.
don't know if it's for what I did or just because I was or in jail.
Both.
Oh,
Um,
probably.
you know, we are very judgmental people. If we don't work on it,
Well, I think
and
that's I don't know why, but that's, I guess, taught into us.
it is.
I don't know
And
who did it, but it's kind of taught into us from a young age. Okay, they don't have this, so you don't like them, and they look this way, so you can't hang around them.
I want to respond to what Mama. Okay, be right back. Got a phone call. I'll respond when she gets back. Um, I was, and believe it or not, man, I was a very judgmental person. Beth called me out on that shit. She's like, "You just all the time this and that," and I was, man. And you would think I'd have been the opposite, but I was, and it was just part of that sickness I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
yeah. Uh, man, she got me with that while ago, buddy. It caught me off guard there.
I did not know it neither.
Uh, that's tough, Nick.
I
That's
follow her. I
tough.
listen to her quite a bit, and
Hmm.
uh,
She usually always drops in on my show too. Um,
has she? I hadn't.
yeah, I don't really want to go into this. I'm just going to tell you this, and we'll talk more about it later off the air or whatever. But I apologize to your friend today.
I heard.
Okay,
And,
then we'll leave it
and
at that for right
good.
now. We'll talk about that another time because I figured all that. But anyway, um,
Thanks.
yeah, back to the learning to live again. It's kind of a cliche to say this, but you truly just got to put one foot in front of the other. Um, but you got to have faith, and you got to learn how to believe in yourself, because I've never been married for 30 years, but I feel like if my marriage failed at 30 years, I feel like I'd beat myself up pretty bad, unless it was some infidelity or something went on. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so there would be a lot of that, and there'd be a lot of self doubt, and man, how am I going to do this alone, or how am I going to build a life when I'm a 25-time convicted felon, or how am I? You're going to do it with what I just told you a while ago with that story in Florida, man. You know, I went and did it, and I did it legally. And I did everything in my name. I was not breaking the laws, and I went there, like I said, with nothing, man. And I got that job, and I bought a motorcycle. I did all this on my own, man. And I was proud of that. It was just another one of them things. I think sometimes, definitely someone like me, I need to see some accomplishments to really truly believe in myself. And so, what all that did is it led to me today. The old me, not too long ago, even in sobriety, would not have done this. Would not have got a microphone and put myself out here like I have. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, but today I'm completely comfortable. I was nervous in my first live show, but today I'm completely comfortable. And there's people that today someone told me that they listened to some shows that I had before. And they were like, they were okay. But now you got something going on now. And I always ask everybody the same thing. I said, listen, I don't edit them. I want them to be raw. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, okay. Um, so I got me ordered some of those microphones that clip on your shirt or whatever for
Right.
on the go. So I'm
Right.
going to give them a shot and see how well they work. Last night, man, I did that one with just a phone. That was a speakerphone talking through my phone. Um, and so I was surprised at the sound. I was a little worried about it. Um, but it turned out well. I haven't listened to the whole thing. I listened to a few minutes of it while I was downloading different things, but it sounded okay. But to me, I could tell that it wasn't on a microphone. But you
Well,
know,
I thought it sounded good, but I don't.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a good episode. He's, afterwards he was like, "I left so much out, man. Can we
Well,
do it
now you do
again?"
part two,
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, "Yeah, we'll do part two, buddy. Don't worry about it. We'll do it. Ain't nothing, man.
and
Ain't
that's
nothing
what's
to do
good,
it."
man. He wants to come back, and
Yes, that's the
that
whole
would be
thing,
great
man.
if you could get a crew of, I don't know, even starting just with him and Hunter.
Yeah, well,
Just
we'll talk about Hunter.
oh
He's okay. He
he should.
just, um, yeah, he's just got some shit going on, man. Not
Well,
drugs,
no
but
good.
something that if he's not careful, he better mind his p's and q's because he's in a very vulnerable state right now. Is what I'll say,
Oh shit. Well,
and I hope he knows it and understands. And I think he does.
okay.
But people run a good game, man. And
Hey Ralph, how are
hello,
you?
Ralph. How you doing? That's the thing, manipulation, man, is runs king throughout that world. You get me?
Yeah.
And manipulation is the first thing we learn how to do anyway when we're born. We're crying
Oh
out
yeah.
like we're dying because we want either some attention or a bottle, and we ain't dying.
And
And
then
so
when
that's
we
the
get
whole
addicted, it's even worse.
yeah, yeah. And
I
that guy
was.
last
I
night,
was. Mm,
I don't know if you heard the beginning of it or whatever, but that guy last night, he was born addicted to crack and methamphetamines. His mother was an addict, and while she
mm,
was pregnant with him, she was using drugs, and so he was born addicted. You know what I mean? So his first shot at detox was he was a brand new baby in this world, man.
yeah.
Then he was adopted by his parents or whatever. So he's that age. There was a lot of children around his age born addicted to crack.
There was that. There was a short period there. Yes, sir.
hmm And
Because it was so big and everybody was using it. And
it's coming back again, Nick. It's made a
yeah,
comeback, man.
I know.
I hate to
Luckily, I've been
even.
clean a long time, so you know, but
I
I
don't
know when
know
I
that.
quit, I remember telling you my story. I had to change everything in my life, though.
Yeah.
You know, I uh, I had to change my way home. I had to change, everything because it was just, oh hell, I'll just stop there. What's his name's there? Or,
How you
going to
doing
the
there, Mister Be Great Times? Um, and you do, and so many people say the same things. You know,
See, you're a little
people.
stronger than me. I can't talk about it unless someone asks me, and then I'll tell them. But I'm glad you're able to talk about it like this.
I am, and like people talk about triggers and all that stuff. Me, a trigger can be anything. I can make anything in the world I want to be a trigger. So now, people who deal with childhood traumas and things like that, or trauma in their life, I definitely believe that there is triggers for them. You get me?
Oh no,
Uh,
yeah, I get you.
but you said hello to me, Nick.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to say hello to.
Yeah,
Well, hello. How you doing, Dane?
yeah. I don't go around people that I use with. Hey, Bella. I don't go around people that I use with or anything like that. Um, but I pass places all the time, man. Just like we were talking about that little house a while ago. Um,
Right.
that's kind of the first time I really thought about it. I don't think it was really just like a trigger, but I did go back to my mind to the first time I done the Dilaudid or whatever. Then I did, but it didn't make me want to use.
Mm.
Um, and so everyone's different. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, yeah, we're all different,
Yeah.
and we
And
all react different to it.
some people hear me say that, and they'd be ready to fight. Um, what do you mean you don't believe in triggers? For myself, I don't. I'm not saying for you. I'm not working your program. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm.
you're working it yourself, and so if it's a trigger for you, it's a trigger for you. Stay away from it. But for me, my experience was Beth didn't text me good morning. She went to work and she didn't tell me good morning this morning. I'm gonna get high. I mean, I can make anything. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
and so I just try to make sure, man. This the key for me. The biggest thing for me is that the second that my eyes open in the morning, I'm working on my recovery right then. I don't wait. I don't wait till I've had my coffee. It's the very first thing I do before I leave my bedroom to go get my cup of coffee or look at my phone or just whatever. The second my eyes are open, really what happens is as I start waking up, I don't even use an alarm clock, Nick, believe it or not. I automatically wake up on time and all these different things. But
I got two of them.
yeah, I don't even use them. I automatically wake up. But as I start to wake up, before my eyes are really even opening, I start talking to God and or praying, whichever one you like to call it, and that's how I start my day, man. And then I go through other different things that I do, and um, I'll do that every day for the rest of my life. Because if I ever stop, then we have a problem, you know. If I start getting a bad attitude, that was a big one for me. If you notice, I start having this bad attitude or pointing out everything wrong with Nick. You know what I mean? Uh, or just all these different things, and so
Yeah,
I
I can
avoid that at all
understand.
cost.
Yeah. No, that's good though, and that's
Yeah,
working for you though.
yeah, it is, and that's what you have to do.
So my
In the
question
whole
is, and
okay,
what are you going to do if that stops working?
try
Hopefully it
something
never
else,
does.
man. I'm gonna try something else. I'll start all the way over at the beginning, man. That's what
Okay, good to hear. Good to hear.
I will start all the way over with step one again and run through it. And yeah, because the other side is just not an option anymore. It's not an option. Um,
Right.
I know what's there for me, and I have yet to see what amazing life is here for me. You see what I'm saying?
No, well, hey, keep looking, man. I understand.
Yeah. I've got that. I know what's there. It's nothing but darkness and just misery, man. I saw a guy on the sidewalk sitting there knotted out today. And what did I do? I prayed for him and said, maybe he'll get it. And there's so many people like that. I see him all the time, man. But today that one kind of stood out where he was at. It was just in a very public place. And I was driving by and I was like, man, I just happened to look over and see him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Uh,
Was he by himself or?
he's by himself, man. Yep.
Mm.
Yep. He's just sitting there, sitting up, his head down. You're nodded out. That's what you do with this fentanyl stuff. You take yourself as close to death as you can. Uh, because when you're in that nod state, you're not thinking about I'm homeless or my whole lady's pissed and I just spent all the money and oh my gosh, she's gonna find out I took the gold. I mean, just all these different things, man. You know what I mean? Um, I know at any time I'm gonna get a phone call and she's gonna know I wrote a check for $1,000 and or whatever. Um,
Right.
shit, Beth got smooth real fast. Man, she'd cut all my credit cards off and everything immediately. she
I'm
picked
not
up on it
laughing
real
at you,
fast.
but
Yeah, she wasn't quick. I mean, she wasn't messing around, man. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
tough love. She tried the tough love thing, but I really don't know what to think about the tough love thing. I think it depends on the person.
I was just going to say it depends on who you are and maybe who's giving the tough loving.
That's it. But I'll say this, man, and this
Because your
is
tough love was in prison, though.
there you go.
I mean, it wasn't really a love, but
It was
maybe
just
it was. It's just
I had
you
a
got the toughness in there, and you had to make
yeah.
your decision then.
Yep. I've got a buddy he's in a program. He's not really a buddy. He's just someone I met. Well, he's a buddy. He's a buddy. I shouldn't say that. But he calls me randomly or texts me, and I guess he had an issue at his little house he's living in today. And that's what it was all about. It was about a younger kid who was like really nasty. But all of those things that go on, you have to learn how to deal with them. Because while you're in that program, man, you're still kind of sheltered. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting you ready for the real world. So just deal with it the right way. But it's hard. But that's what it's all about. You have to live in a way that we're just not meant to live. You know what I mean?
Oh
Same
yeah,
thing with prison. We're not meant to live that way. So it's very unnatural. And so let it
that's
build you and build your character and let you be above. You get what I'm saying?
no, yeah. I'm listening. I
And don't let, because this guy over here spilt some milk, don't let that be what drives you out there to kill yourself, because that's what's going to happen, man. Like I told him, same thing. Listen, man, there's only two options for you. It's either prison or death. Which one do you want? Well, then you better stay where the hell you're at. Um, and sometimes I have to be that guy there. Like y'all don't know that guy, that part of me. Like I can be, man. It's my heart is in this thing so much that I get pissed off. You get me? Uh, but I got reeled back in a few days ago. Someone said, Well, Dane, how many times you try to get sober? When I was answered honestly, I said one, and I'm sober. I never tried it before. Yes, I went to a bunch of treatments and all that, but I wasn't trying. I went for the parole officer or Beth or my brother or whatever reason. You know what I mean? Um, but I always knew. I mean, I would go in the treatment centers, take dope in there with me. I wouldn't go if I didn't have any dope to take with me. I mean, so that's kind of you know. But when you're all in, that means all in. So you have to deal with these things because and whatever treatment you're in, whether it's 30, 60, 96 months, a year program, whatever it is you're doing, one day you're not going to be in that and you're going to be in the real world. Prepare yourself for it now. Because if you don't, you're not going to make it, man. And so many people get in them places and they do the same thing I did. They sit back in as far back as the room as they can, head down, hood up or something if you got a hoodie on, and don't want nobody look at you and don't want nobody to talk to me. And you're not going absolutely no freaking where in your recovery. The only place you're
Yeah.
going is backwards, back out there to the same thing you were doing. You
Well,
have
you're
to
already
be,
in denial.
you're already there. You've already relapsed already. That's the thing about it. And seeing people that have been in the program or work in it and all these different things, we see this. We see it way ahead of time before you ever relapse because things start changing. They stop calling you or texting you. That's a big one because they're avoiding. It's like me with God. Like I'd pray and stuff, but when I'd get high, I'd stop praying because I was ashamed. And it was a shameful thing. And that's the devil. It just takes you away from God. And and that's the same thing. All this ties into the learning to live again, because whatever it is, you still have to make new habits and new whatever, and you may have to change and drive by where she works at or him or whatever it is you're going through. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It all would fit the same. And I say this, and this celebrate recovery thing, I think would be great for a lot of people, uh, because man, what do they call it? Uh, Hang-ups. Man, what was it? There's three H words: habits, hang-ups, and something else. And everybody has something. You know what I mean?
Honor? No. Oh,
And
I've
that,
never heard that, but
yeah, I can't remember the third one, man. I usually got a good memory. I don't know why it's slipping my mind here, but it is. But I'm kind of feeling it, Nick. Really, man. I'm kind of feeling that place, really. Um, and I like that. Maybe I do need a little jolt of something new. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Instead of getting complacent in what I'm doing, because that's another thing we can do. What I would do is that I would stick my toe in the water with recovery, and then I would get 20 days clean. And everybody should trust me, man. Look here, man. I've been sober for 20 days. I'm all brand new. What do you mean I can't still? Not gonna leave your purse in there? What are you talking about? Don't you know who I am? I'm 20 days sober. Or I would think, I've got it now. I got it, man. I don't need that program. But
Yeah.
how I would really go wrong, I would go wrong the same way. I would say, I'm going to smoke a joint, and I could watch Best skin crawl just by me saying that, because she was right. I'd smoke a joint today and I'd be doing heroin tomorrow, um, because it activates those receptors in your brain. So
Right.
you just have to
Right.
put on the full armor, whatever it is you're going through. You have to find something that's greater than you that you believe in. It's going to pull you through it. And me, of course, is faith. And you have to learn a new way to live in a lot of ways. You may have to move. I mean, it could be so many different things. You don't want to sleep in the same bed
Yeah.
as you did with who or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. No. Yeah.
Um, but the learning to live again. If you're going through something that's you know causing you that much, try the Celebrate Recovery thing out, man. And they have them in every town, churches. They're usually about 6:15 or so. They feed you free food. You go there and eat a good little meal. It ain't just some bull crap. It's actually a pretty good little decent meal. The one I went to last night had a pretty good meal.
So
And
is it a certain type of church? Is it
no,
like
just
a
any kind.
Methodist or Lutheran?
Any of them. Just happens to be a
Okay.
church that decides to have it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
The last night was the Church of Nazarenes that I went to. Um,
Okay.
what was it called? Community of Hope, I think, or something. Uh, I forgot where I was at.
Well, at least
But
people
anyway, you
can
just have to
look
learn
it
how to
up.
live again. Just learn how to live a new way. But the most important thing is, well, to me, most important thing is God and faith. But you have to believe in yourself. Whatever it was that went on, or whatever it was you did, it is the past. You can't let that define who you are or your future. It sucks. I get it. And heartbreak is a hard thing to go through. whether it's you've lost someone or whatever. And also just make sure you keep an eye on your mental health, because so many people don't see the little signs and these little things, and out of nowhere, especially coming off of drugs, because you've done messed up so many things in your brain, man. Um, I talked about mine the other night, and that was a scary place. And reach out, talk to people. A lot of times when we say talk to people, we understand that's you talking to me, listening. I'm a great listener. I know I talk a lot on here and stuff, but I'm a great listener as well. Um, and I'll give you my feedback when you want it. You may not even want it. You may just want to bounce some stuff off and whatever, and just vent. I'm here for that as well. I couldn't imagine being married to someone or something for 30 years and you get divorced. It would be a shock to the system.
Yeah.
But don't isolate yourself. Get out and get around people. Learn to live again. Maybe date. I mean, you may, if that's what you went through. It may take a while, whatever. I'll tell a story about my uncle. I have an uncle that was married to my mother's sister, so he's my uncle by marriage. This man, next to my grandfather, is the greatest man I've ever known to walk this earth. He's just an all-around good man. And my aunt died right before I got out of prison in 2009. And me and him, he is what got me out of the isolation shit I was in. Like, I wouldn't go anywhere, man. I wouldn't go anywhere at all. I would like ride around with my brother and wreck and stuff like that, but I wouldn't go in stores. I wouldn't go in restaurants. And it was his 50th birthday party, and he come over there and he said, "Bull crap, you're going to my 50th birthday party." And he's what got me out of that shell. But what I was getting at is that I remember me and him standing there talking, and Rhonda had been gone for, I don't remember how long, but he said, "Man, I want a date, I think, but I'm scared of what the family would think." And my exact words was, "Fuck that. You have, man, this man, you talking about a working man. He just was dedicated so much to his family." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you meet anybody that says that, I'm going to say his name. If you meet anybody that says that they don't like Randy Whitefield, something is wrong with that person. They're going to be the only person in this world that says they don't like this man. Um, and I just remember him saying that. But then on the other hand of it, I couldn't imagine how hard that would be. You know what I mean? Because they had been together as long as I can remember. I think in high school they met. I'm pretty sure. And she passed away of MRSA. She got it in a hospital, the same place my mother got it at, and died. Both of them um, in the same hospital. Yeah,
That's sorry, but that's weird, huh?
it is very. Isn't that weird, man? I mean, it really. And they had called and said that Rhonda was going to be okay, and he got in the shower, and while he was in the shower, she passed away. I think it was, or he took a nap. Something. It was something, and or no, no, that's wrong. He took a shower and left to go up there, and on the way there, she had passed away. But she was supposed to be okay coming home. She had. I don't even. You got to remember, I was in prison. They tried to always shelter me away from stuff. They didn't want me to know. My mother got real sick while I was in there. All kind of different things, and I didn't know. They just kind of left me in the dark. You know what I mean? I
Right.
had enough going on or whatever, and I used to have resentments for that. I don't today, but I did. I was the most important thing. You know what I mean? Um, but that's just it. You have to decide when you want to learn to live again, whether you're going to or you're not. The things I went through don't compare into losing a child or
Oh
someone you've been
yeah.
with forever on these kind of things, and I get that. But you just have
That would be a
to,
hard one to learn again.
man. It would be, but again, I'm a man of faith, as you know. I'm not shy about that at all.
Right.
And if you lean on God and you really truly believe, He will walk you through it. And if you think I'm full of crap, give it a shot for a week. Try it for a week and see if anything changes. But most importantly, reach out. I mean, that's one of the most important things as well. Because even if we're not wanting it, man, we'll start talking to somebody and we'll hear it, and it starts giving us our little groove back. You know what I mean? Uh,
Hmm.
the more we hear people talking and all these different things. So um, you just have to do that and stand on it. Journaling, man. Journaling is huge. We may not think that, but it is. You write it down. Even if you got something going on that's holding you back, you might not realize how much you need to write it down to let go of the shit. The person that you need to let go of, they may be gone, I used to think people were. I thought I used to think this was just like a fairy tale, and I was one of them people that, man, I'm not doing that shit. That's weird or whatever. Until I tried it, and I tried it, and man, it's very therapeutic. It's like writing a letter to them, but you're just letting go of it. You're getting it out of you, and then again, here's another most important thing: you are somebody. Don't ever sit there and think you're a nobody, because I thought that for a long time. I thought I believed what I was told. I said I wasn't never going to do this, never do that. And all that shit's a lie, and that's bullshit, because you can go and be anything you want to be. I'm not saying you can go and, sing country music or anything, but you may can. Um, but as far as, you know, realistic things, you can do it. And again, speak it into existence. Speak what you want and learn how to live again. You might come to find out that your old way you was living kind of sucked anyway. Um,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? Uh, I learned that, but of course, how could I not learn the way I was living sucked? But um, so yeah, it's just all about that, and it's positivity, faith, man. You just have to believe, and um, you know, I mean, there's so many things that would be tougher to deal with than other things. Your wife cheating on you, man. I mean, that would be devastating. You know what I mean? How would you get over that? Man, probably counseling and therapy and faith. Me, I would probably, no, I ain't gonna say that. Never mind. I'd be a very angry man. I'd be a very angry man. So uh, that's what I would say. All right, man. We've been going an hour. It's been a good hour. Um, I want to thank everybody that's come on tonight. I really do appreciate it. Um, Mama Bear, I know you're not back on here yet. Maybe you'll listen to this. Again, my heart goes out to you. I can only imagine. I'll say a prayer for you, and you'll be in my prayers now every day, so you have some strength. Um, because again, I mean, there you go. I mean, it's just something like that. And in a case like that, you have to live because you got another child and you have this. And so, but again, you can do things that will give you more strength and where you can find some kind of peace. And all these things may not make sense. Give them a try. That's kind of all over the place tonight, but I still think it's a good show, and I got my point across, I think.
Yeah, you
Um,
did a good show.
hey, Shorty, I'm cutting it down now, but thank you so much for coming in. Um, thank everybody, man. I need this tonight as well. I need my therapy too, man. I've been getting it on here and being able to talk, and because I listen so much, you know what I mean? And I have to talk sometimes. So thank everybody. Thank you, Nick, again, man. You're always showing up for me. I appreciate it. God bless everybody. Again, my email is danegentrypodcast@gmail.com. Reach out if you got anything going on. I'll get back to you. It's not weak. It's not any of these things, man. So don't let that voice keep telling you that it is. We all need help. I need help. I still need help every day. Hey, Black Dragon.
It's
I guess we have to
GJ.
cut the. Are you in a
GJ.
big hurry, Nick?
There's Black Dragon. Oh no. No.
Okay, we'll just keep on going then. Everybody's coming in now. What's up, Black Dragon? How you doing, man? Um, and Shorty, how are you doing? Good to see you, girl. Um,
G- GJRB's in.
Y'all didn't see them. Hey, man, how you doing? GJRB Online Networks.
That's hard to say. Say
Yeah,
that
it's.
real fast.
I wonder what it stands for. Maybe they'll tell us.
He'll tell you. He told me last night what it was for.
What is that? What is the GJ? That's kind of hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
GJRB. What does it stand for, my friend? I'm just curious. Uh, Good, man. Black Dragon, everything been going good. You had a good week. I did, man. I had a really good week. Really, uh, I
Do you
really
remember Black
did.
Dragon?
Huh?
He was on. You remember meeting Black Dragon?
I do. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly who he is.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
good, man. I'm glad to hear it. Um, I did too, man. I had a really good week. We have to take the good with the bad, and that's something I do. I do some things. Upon awakening and before I go to bed. Nick probably knows what I'm talking about. But gratitude, man. You know, gratitude is something that I need to talk about that. So I'm glad I stayed on. Gratitude is huge because we can get complacent, we can get this, and we can get that. But if we'll sit down in the mornings and sit there and just think about the things that we're grateful for, man, I promise you'll find more of them than you will that you're not so grateful for. You know what I mean? And you have to remind yourself of these things. I do, because I got a sick mind. It's not so sick today um, because I do these things. Because I was doing that. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm always singing best praises unless I'm pissed off at her and she's done something or whatever. But made me mad. But it was her. She used to always say that. I used to think, how dare you saying that to me? You know what I mean? That I'm not grateful. I'm grateful. She said, no, you're freaking spoiled. And I was like, spoiled? I'm a grown ass man. But I was spoiled. I was a very spoiled little kid. And so today I do find the things I'm grateful for. And there's a lot of them. And it could be the smallest of things, but it'll make you smile for a minute. You know what I mean?
Huh. You're not
Oh,
seeing
wait a minute.
anything.
I'm
Maybe
not
his
seeing anyone
connection.
in the room. Be right back. Uh,
Huh.
he's
I
not
don't know.
seeing anyone in the room. I think he was meaning to hang up when he called in just then. I think he tried to call in, but I think he was saying he's not seeing anybody. But
Right.
I think
So
he's the only one here now. I think Shorty's gone.
no, there's two more in there.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Well, it says there's four people total. There he is, that
Oh,
dragon.
okay. Yeah, there he's back. Um, Nick Shorty, there, better now. Good deal. Glad to hear it. I'm glad somebody come to my show tonight. Everybody, man.
Yeah, they're
All
they
right.
coming.
There
Oh,
we
Mm.
go.
hey, what's going on,
Hey,
man?
doing good there, Dane. Can't complain, man. Like you. You know what? That's one thing I'll say, Dane, that we can both agree on. As short as this life is, we got to enjoy every moment like it's our last, because one day it will be.
Amen.
Amen.
Uh,
You know,
that's a fact, man.
it is. You know,
Because when we're living that life, we take all the little small shit for granted. It's like when I'd go to prison, I used to always say, "Man, I wish I could see the stars." I wasn't thinking that shit when I was out there on the street.
exactly.
You know,
No, you weren't, were you?
no, I
No.
was thinking about that bag of dope I had or had to get. Or how's my mic sounding tonight, Nick?
I think it sounds good.
Okay,
You're coming in loud and clear. I can hear
good
it
deal.
on my old phone. I use my
Yeah,
old phone like I told GGRB just for work phone purposes. I got a much better phone I could be using for this. It's just the only reason I choose not to is because I don't want to overload my new phone with too much apps and stuff, man.
right.
Right. Right.
Because
I'm a.
that'll bog it down if you do that.
Are you an Android guy?
I absolutely have been for years now.
See, I'm an iPhone guy, man.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I just when I come home the first time, I didn't know how to send a text message. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I can understand that.
and I
Absolutely.
got an iPhone, and I just remember the way it felt, right?
Right,
And
right.
I was like, that's the feel I'm looking for. And I actually use an old iPhone, believe it or not,
Oh, I
because
believe you.
I like it,
Yeah,
and it does exactly the same things that the new
yeah,
ones do. But I
yep,
like this one, man, and I'm gonna
absolutely.
keep buying them as long as they make them.
Me too with Android. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I just
Mine definitely serves my needs. No, I hear you there, and absolutely agree. That's it.
it's just all
Absolutely.
about what you like.
It is.
You get your preference, and
It is.
I
You
saw
know.
something about
Mm,
Samsung that
mm.
um, something about their camera would zoom in on the moon, but it was fake.
I
Um,
heard that story.
it was actually a picture they had, it, and the phone would go to that, and you
Mm,
would
How
think you were
about that new
zooming in on the
AI?
moon.
mm.
The new AI?
No, Nick, I don't know, but it may be a new, and I'm not really not sure.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, I mean, with what you can do with technology these days, it really don't surprise me very much anymore.
No, me either. I mean, who
You know,
knows, man? How much stuff is? You know what I
pretty much, yeah. And I'm a technology guy. I know my stuff, but anyway, I didn't come in here for that, obviously. But no, I'm
mean?
doing good. I am doing good. I am blessed because God has blessed me. Even though I'll admit, I have my moments when I break down in silence that y'all don't see about because, after all, there's a lot of things that, you know, it's better really to keep some things to one's personal life off the internet as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know,
Let me ask you this. Give me your opinion on learning to live again.
sure, sure.
How do you think someone can learn to live again when they go through something traumatic?
I think it takes baby steps to get there. I think in deep prayer, and I think by finding those that can help you that when you need the help the most.
There you go.
There's
The
it.
others, yeah. There you
Oh
go. It's
yeah,
others. It's a
others.
whole combination of things. It isn't just one thing you're going to do, but you're going to start
No,
with one thing,
that's right.
and you'll see a little bit, of
Every
growth
day.
somewhere. Yeah,
That's it.
it's just
That's
like
it.
these shows. You see a little bit of growth every day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you stay
Absolutely.
with it be-
Absolutely.
because we know if we were living the life I was living, we know what I've been doing is definitely not working. You know what I mean?
No.
And so,
Well, no. I've never been to that kind of life. Don't want to be to that kind of life. But then again, too, I wouldn't encourage anybody to be in the life I was in either.
right?
Because
Right.
when you go
Yeah.
into the occult life, let me tell you something. That's no joke.
No, it's not.
That's
No,
very
it's not a
dangerous.
joke.
That's very dangerous. Because
Um,
me, I'm lucky I didn't have demons going through my body because, that could have happened to me, Dane. Worst thing could have happened to me. I could not be here talking to y'all right now.
right, right, without a doubt.
You know?
And you could be alive. You could be alive, but you could be a completely different person just with so much evil inside you and all
Yeah,
around you that
I could. And
you know.
that wouldn't be good for anyone.
No,
It really wouldn't.
no, uh,
No,
a lot of people don't believe in that kind of stuff, but
no, they don't. But it's real, man.
yeah, it's real.
It
It's
is.
real.
You
Um,
know?
you can't play with them kind of things, man. It's like I
No,
almost messed up last night, man. You probably don't know this, but I almost made a huge
no.
freaking mistake last night. I did a show late. It was I think I started at like 2:45 in the morning. Had some
Mm-hmm.
thing going with this guy, and I decided, well, here, man, let's talk about something else. Let's just talk about, you know what I mean?
Right,
Anyway, and so we
right.
just started doing it, and this lady came on, and
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen her before, and she started talking about tarot cards or whatever. I was
Mm-hmm.
actually going to let this lady do a tarot card reading on me. I couldn't even believe it when I said it, man. I was like, did I just? And I hung it up. I ended the show and started it back over.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I said, well, maybe she'll come back on. Thank God she didn't, because I
Oh,
think that's evilness too. Um,
it is, Dang. It's a
and
part
you
of
see
it's
but
yeah,
how fast I almost went there, man.
I see it. It don't take much. It
No,
really don't.
I've kind of beat myself up over that today a little, not too much, but a little. I was like, man, I was weak. You know what I mean?
I
Uh,
know. I know. That's one thing. Let me advertise. I always advertise this on my radio stations. Let me let you folks in on something. Do not get yourself involved with the occult like I did, because you see how I'm still here by God's grace. But
right?
I could have came close to not being here. What if the person you're talking to right now was full of demonic spirits? Like I said, it wouldn't be a good thing there now,
No,
would it?
mm-mm. I saw a lady.
See,
I don't remember where. Probably YouTube or something like that. Sorry, y'all. I had to put some tobacco in.
it's all right. No problem.
I saw a lady that was talking about everything she buys and brings it to her home.
Hmm.
She demonizes it
Yeah.
and does all these different things. And they had went to, I want to say Bahamas, but it was somewhere further than that. And I can't remember now, but somewhere else. They went on vacation. They
Right.
bought some little musical instruments and stuff for the kids. And they come back and she done all the prayer stuff over it, the oil and the I think incense maybe or something.
Right. Right.
Sage probably sage.
Sage. Sage.
Um and said that she woke up in the middle of the night and something was just telling her something about these instruments, and she woke her husband up, and they went in
Mm-hmm.
there and they were right. Like, I guess through their whatever they figured it out. But she was saying how easy it is,
Yeah.
especially now, for it to get into your home,
Oh
basically.
yeah. It
And
is.
you,
Absolutely, it is.
I've met some people, man, and I've had some conversations with them. And when you're talking to somebody, I know people can lie and manipulate, but when you're sitting there talking to someone,
Oh yeah.
you
You can.
you can usually genuinely see maybe the
Yeah.
fear or whatever in their eyes. You know what I
Oh.
mean?
Oh yeah.
And I believe a lot of it. I know people make stuff up, but I'm a
Exactly.
believer in that. The spirit world is definitely out there.
It is. It is out there. I'm a firm believer in knowing that it is, Dane, or because I can tell you from my little short story there of knowing about the occult world. I know better than not to make some. Of course, what I'm saying is definitely not no mumbo jumbo, because I know that this stuff's real, folks. It's dangerous. Stay away
Yes,
from it. Don't
yes.
fall for the devil's devices, folks. Stay away
Mm-mm.
from that. Do
You got to
know
remember who you're talking about. This is the devil now. He's crafty.
he is that.
The only thing he come to do is kill, steal, and destroy.
Kill and
That's it.
destroy. That's it. And the Bible warns us against certain things not to do, but we always got to keep that armor of God on at all times, saints. At all times.
I had a girlfriend, and well, I had a girlfriend. I've had a couple of girlfriends or whatever, but anyway, this
Right.
one girl I dated, I
Right.
was in jail, and she sent me a picture, and it was a picture of her son. It was Christmas
Mm-hmm.
time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I can see like her mother's legs or whatever. And he's standing in front of her, like opening a gift or whatever. And
Right.
then her
Right.
grandmother's is right here. I can see her, and then
Mm-hmm.
Michelle was taking the picture, and in the in the mirror of the picture there was a face,
Mm-hmm.
and she took and blew it up, and it was her grandfather. He had been gone about 6 years, but you can see this man in this
Mm-hmm.
picture plain as day. I can't explain that.
No.
You
Yeah.
know,
No.
it was just it wasn't no camera trick. It was a picture from an iPhone. And yeah, like he was there, like looking over his family.
Man. I know I can't. There's things I can't explain about the world of the paranormal either. Of course, I have a show segment called The World of the Paranormal, but I warn people, I'm warning y'all right now, don't do what I did. Stay away from all darkness and all evil because like I said, if y'all don't, you're going to
It will
find
get
out
you.
what you're not going to like in the end because
Mm.
I
How you
can
doing,
tell
Dina
you,
Joe? Nice to see you.
hey Dina,
Um,
what may seem harmless, I can tell you is far from being harmless.
what about you, Nick? What's your take on that stuff?
Well, I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in it. Well, that's okay.
As far
Um,
as
But
like the card readings and palm reading and all that kind
right,
of stuff.
right.
but I know one
I do
thing
believe in
is
cults.
true. I know one thing is for true. We got to stand in in Lord's light and be brothers and sisters and fellowship with one another and keep that armor of God on and be watchful and mindful of things always. Got to be
Yeah,
watchful. Yeah. Hey
I
that's
Dina
it.
Joe,
do.
You
how you
have to.
doing?
You got to remember how crafty that this stuff
Oh
is. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
very much, absolutely, man. And you're doing all your best, Dane, to get the word out there. Are you not? You're trying to warn people.
I am. I'm talking about
You are.
because I believe in a lot of ways that's what causes people to take that hard left, man. Um,
Absolutely, man. You're right. You're right.
you
It
know,
does.
I'm a like I've said, I'm not. I'm a big God guy. I'm a big Bible guy. I'm not a religion guy.
Absolutely. Correct.
Um,
Correct.
and so you know, I believe what the Bible says. We have to put on the full armor of God, and we have to do that every day.
Amen.
I do this every day for many different
Amen.
reasons because I'm not taking no freaking chances.
No.
Um,
No,
you
you
know,
can't. I mean, you
mm-mm.
cannot. No.
My life's
And
important
I
today.
certainly I certainly don't take no chances at all. I never will.
No,
Um uh-uh. No.
no,
I'm
we
with you
can't.
there. No.
It, it's a war, man. It's like a war.
It is.
Good and evil.
Basically, it is. It's a war of good versus evil. It
Mm-hmm.
really is. It's a spiritual warfare. It's not. It's not It's not just what happens in the flesh, folks. It what happens in the spirit that you just don't see.
There you go. That's what
There
it's
you
all
go.
about.
That's
That's why
it.
I'm a spiritual guy.
Absolutely. Me too, man.
Um, and it's
So am
like
I.
I know that I know that I know, whether it
Absolutely.
be something good or something bad. You know what I'm
You,
saying?
You know,
Um,
I have a take on that. I can sense things. Why can I sense things? Because the good Lord the Creator has allowed me to have gifts and abilities a lot of regular other mortals on this earth, not saying that I'm not mortal, that they don't have. We all don't have the same gifts in this world, folks.
no, no, we don't. We
We
all
don't.
have a gift.
A gift, but it's not the same gift.
No, it's
My
not.
gift my gift, Dane, I'm good at my radio station. You know that already about me. I've
Yeah.
said that. Okay. Your gift, you're a good, it seems to be you're a good motivational speaker.
Mm, I like that. That's what I'm going after. That's
That's
what I'm
right.
going after.
I think you got the it factor. It seems that you really are trying your best. Really.
I am,
Yeah.
and
You
my
really are.
heart's in it, man. That's the
I hear you.
thing.
It is. I hear you.
Um, and today, and you just saying that again. That's about the fourth thing today that has
Exactly.
reiterated that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, man.
Absolutely. God didn't
You-
bring us all together for no reason. No, He brought us together, Dane, for some specific purpose
yes, he
togetherness.
did.
He
Yes, he
did.
did, man. And when I
He really
started
did.
this, my phrase on there, or whatever, is I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody, right?
That's right.
And that's the truth. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Because
Yes, it
God is
is.
everything, and I'll tell you all about him.
Am I anything that special, more special than anybody on this earth? No.
Mm-mm.
No, I'm
No,
not. I'm a child of God, but that don't make me more special than anybody else on this earth.
no,
No.
absolutely not.
No, it doesn't.
Um, yeah, man, that's awesome that you said that. And again, that's the second
Oh
thing
yeah.
tonight on the show that's made my day. And
Yep.
That's
man, I'm
right.
going for it, man. I'm going for it.
Yes, you are.
And it's getting
Definitely.
better. My shows, I still get downloads every day. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Uh,
I hear
things
that.
are
That's
things are
good.
clicking.
Oh yeah.
It's like anything else, man. You can't
It
just
is.
jump in it and go. You have to start
No.
somewhere. And
Well,
really, really, what I think the show has done, first of all, if people can't hear how passionate I am about it, then
of
to me,
course.
I feel like you got something blocking you. You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely.
because
And
I
it's
am, and this show is doing everything that I want it to do. But man, when I finally just really buckled down to it, and the faith thing, it just kind of
that's
took
right.
off. You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely.
but what it's doing is it, I was always kind of a shy person, believe it or not. I was real quiet. I
I
didn't
can
talk a lot.
understand.
But this show is what it's doing is setting my feet up for the motivational speaking, standing in front of however many people and
That's
talking.
right.
I could do it today, no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Um,
it's like I said, well, you're right. When you said it best, we all have to start somewhere. Well, it's like my little story of my radio station, how it got started 15 years ago. And, I've come a long way from that, but I wouldn't have got anywhere with my radio station had I not put the time and effort or work in. You don't put work into anything, folks, you're not going to get nothing out of anything.
Absolutely not.
No,
God,
you
yes.
won't.
And I hear people, this is where a lot of people go wrong too, Black Dragon, is that
Right
they
on.
say, I ain't got to do no feet work. God do it all. No, he won't. No, he's not.
Mm-mm.
No, he's not. That's not part of
No,
the promise, buddy, or
no,
ma'am, or whoever.
no,
Um,
no,
we
it's
got to
not.
do the footwork. He'll do the rest now. You
Oh,
do the
yeah.
footwork. He'll do it.
He'll
Um,
guide us to our ultimate destinations, but if only by putting the work in ourselves.
Without a doubt. Um,
Absolutely.
how long do they let me go? 90 minutes?
No, you get 2 hours.
I get
You
2 hours.
get
Okay,
two
I'm making
hours.
sure. Okay, I was making
Oh, yeah.
sure. Uh,
Yeah,
all right,
two
I wasn't
hours.
sure. I thought on my phone. I think on my phone it tells me 90 minutes. I may be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
but it's 2 hours, Dane. Yeah.
all right.
So it's, yeah, definitely.
I remember a time when, like, I didn't know anything about the Bible. I didn't really know anything about God, but I still
Right,
prayed. But I still
right.
prayed, and I remember, man, I remember when my son's mother was pregnant with him. I was thinking about that. I remember being so drunk that I
Hmm.
was just ready to pass it, but I had to pray before I went to bed. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah,
And I
definitely.
didn't even really know God. I didn't know him at all, really. Then that was before,
Mm.
and I just think I was trying to remember the other day. Could I remember when I started praying? And I really can't. I think it was when I was about 16, man. Uh,
Man, oh
but
wow.
something was always. I just knew. You know what I mean? I just
Just
knew.
a knowing, absolutely. That's with me. I don't know what it is. When I feel like a natural disaster is about to come in the spirit, I don't know why I can pick up on things, but it's a spiritual connection. That's one of the godly gifts that God gave me. Not just my ability years later to find out I can do internet radio. No, I'm more connected than just my station there, Dane.
Right. You're
Yeah,
spiritually connected,
yeah,
um,
I am.
and that's you know.
You know,
I remember I was telling somebody this, and this goes back to prison again. I was I was in prison for the second time, and I had I got caught with a cell phone. I got caught with a knife.
man.
Had a assault on offender charge. It was just a fight or whatever, but all these things. And I was going up for parole 6 months later. Now, there's no way you're going to make parole. By God, I knew I was going to make parole. You hear me? And you
I
couldn't
hear
tell
you.
me I wasn't. And I went up there in a white uniform. That means in maximum security. And I
Man,
knew because I knew God was doing something amazing in my life at this time, and I made parole. Um,
amen.
And
Amen.
everybody's like, how I said, God, man. And that's what he's been wanting me to do so much. Now I got a voice somewhat. You
That's
get me?
right.
And
I hear
I'm
you.
not going to
You
stop
got
talking
a
about God.
platform.
Right.
Brother,
I'm
you got
not
a
going to start
platform.
talking. I will not stop shouting his name out as loud as I can, man. Because,
Amen.
you know,
Amen.
um,
Amen.
this old boy here definitely shouldn't be around as many of us should. And he kept me around. And I'm going to tell everybody how amazing and great he is. And
Amen.
you just got to believe, man. And
You do.
if you don't, give it a week. Just try it for a week. That's it.
That's right.
And if you
Just
don't
try
see
it.
some differences, then whatever. But
If you never picked the Bible up before, folks, it's not too late to start tonight. Heck, do it tonight. It's not too late to do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Do it. But just do it.
Black Dragon, where I think has really hurt us so much is the
Yes.
churches, man.
Yes.
So many people are just so pushed back because of what they see going on in the church. When we say pick up a Bible, that don't mean you got to go to church, man.
No. No. And we are the
Study.
church.
There you
We are the
go.
church. You're right here, right
Exactly.
now. You
So
see?
how do you
Exactly.
blame the church? Just out of curiosity, I want to know how you're looking at
Because
it.
of what goes on, what we see, it's all money. And it's just corrupt. And we hear the stories all the time. These different preachers who were out here, and Tammy Faye and what was her husband's name? Tammy
It ain't
Faye and something
it ain't
Baker.
it's
Right.
not
Baker.
even just that. It's another
Yeah.
one. I'm trying to think. What is that one that has a mansion home? I'm trying to think of what he is now. It is Joe Osteen. That's
Oh
it.
my
Those
goodness.
different street
Yeah.
clothes. That
35,000 square foot home.
yeah.
But he says he tries to clean it up. But I'm gonna tell you what he did. If you don't know what he did, he has that
Oh, I
big church
know.
down there. It used to be the Compact Center. I lived in Houston for a while when I was a kid. When I
Yeah.
was on the run when I was a kid.
Oh
Well, I
yeah.
was in my 20s, early
His
20s.
father used to. His father actually used to run the church before he took over running the
Right.
church.
So he bought the Compact Center where the Houston Rockets
Yeah.
used to play, and that's what his church is now. Well, when that hurricane
Yeah.
came through, he would not open his doors and let people go inside.
Mm-mm.
It's
Okay.
things like that, Nick. I mean, and we see it all the time. The guy that's I'll think of the name of his church in a minute. He just went through the whole bunch of women, alcohol, all these things. It's over in I think Australia, maybe Hillside. Hillside.
Hillside. Yeah. Yeah.
They
I've
went
heard of
through
that.
it, and you know, there was a guy. I seen a guy. There's a guy who's making a lot of noise right now. He's up there saying
Yeah.
he's a pastor. He does not take a dime from the church. He says, "I have a job." He says, "I work," and everybody's tripping out on that. He's like, "That's people. What it is people take where Jesus says, go out, don't take no money belts with you, don't take anything. It would
No.
all be provided for you, right?
All
You know what I'm
right.
talking about? Where he's talking about
Okay.
that?"
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's what people are using as. And I'm not going to say that if you're a pastor you don't deserve to be paid, but you don't
No.
deserve to be living in no 35,000 square
Well,
foot home when you got people.
not only that, but you shouldn't be sporting no golly gold chrome Rolex watching either, because to
No.
me that's blasphemous.
Well, there's
So I
so
got
many
a
things.
question though compared to
Okay.
that.
Be honest
Now,
with you.
besides during that hurricane, maybe he opened it up to uh, his church, but in the past, how many people did it help?
What, his church?
Yeah.
It helped his pockets. But I mean, yeah,
I'm talking
I see
about the
what you're
people
saying.
though. I mean,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying as far he,
Mm-hmm.
he got a lot of money. I understand that, but
Yeah,
And
how
me
many
either.
people did his church actually help either get off the street or feed them or clothe them or
I
you
get
know?
what he's
probably
saying there.
So I
Yeah.
have a hard time being upset that someone pocket a lot of money.
Of
He's going to have to
course,
answer to that for himself.
of course, it isn't right being Christians to keep people out either, is it?
no. And
No.
the biggest thing for me is that he's not doing what the Bible says a pastor should, and that's feeding the
No,
flock. He's
he
not
isn't.
teaching the Bible. He's
No.
not teaching you the Bible. He'll give you one little verse and he'll go off on a whatever. And that's so many people today. But again, Nick really hit it on the head when he said
Yeah,
the
he
most
did.
important thing. He's going to have to
Oh
deal
yeah.
with God.
He
You know what I
will.
mean? When the time comes, he's going to have to deal with God.
Because
And
you
so,
know when it all comes, it's going to be judgment.
right, right. And
And
that's, was I think
So,
me and Beth talk
so is
about
he
that a
still
lot.
preaching today?
Yes.
So he
Hmm.
still has a following.
Oh, he has a huge following,
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean,
but
I
he's leading
understand what
them.
you guys are saying, but someone
But he's
believes in him, or he's
right
doing.
now. He's a great
right.
motivational speaker. I'll say that. But he's not, and that's what he should be. Instead of saying
He doesn't really act like much like a man of God is supposed to act
that's what
anymore.
it is. That's the whole thing. He's calling himself
See?
to be a man of God. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm judging the guy. I'm just going by
No,
what
neither
what
do
the
What he
I.
Bible
hears and
says
see,
that
and yeah.
what the Bible says a pastor should be.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to be judgmental either,
No,
but at the
no,
same time, to be fair, here's the thing. We have to have the spirit of discernment. God has given all of us to have the spirit of discernment.
Right.
You see,
Um,
you know?
and that's really it, Nick. And again, I can be, oh man, he ain't doing this and he ain't doing that, and he probably has helped a lot of people. Man, and there's probably been a lot of
Probably,
people that were going to commit suicide or something. He's probably helped. You know what I mean?
probably have,
oh yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
And
We're
things
not,
like that. And
I mean,
so,
we're not saying he don't help nobody. No, definitely not.
right, because there's a lot of
Especially,
people, man. I'm one of them. I was good when I told you, Nick, when I said what I did in Florida. I used to
Mhm.
listen to him every morning.
Yep.
I would put on YouTube and I would listen to different motivational speakers, and he would come on. And so that's why I said that a while ago about a motivational speaker. He can tell you, you know what I mean,
yeah,
and make you
Mhm.
feel good about yourself. He's a feel good guy,
yeah,
um, and that he is. But when it comes to being a man of God and teaching the Bible, you
mm-mm.
should do that. But
Yeah,
again, it's not for me to judge. That's going to be
no,
between him and God.
me
And
either.
but
Because,
things like that, or like let's say that there's I heard a story about it today. I'll tell that story in a second. But let's say there's a lady and she's lost her husband. She's a widow and she has children and she goes to church for help and they don't help her.
all right,
And
Right.
that's who the church is supposed to be helping. That was one of the key things that was
correct.
told. Help the
Yeah,
widows and all these different things. Okay, so that person,
Hey,
what's
Robert.
going on, Robert? That
hey, Robert.
person is going to spread the word and it's going to get back around. The church wouldn't even help me. Now, by the time the story gets back to us, it's done been, cut up and retold and all these different things. So we
Right.
don't really know even the true story.
No.
Um, and it could be so many different things. The lady may have been there every day and they helped her every day, but that one, we don't know.
Right.
So
No.
we have to take that kind of stuff into account too.
I have to be careful of what I say and what I do, and I understand that, and I am. And here's the thing: if you if you want to do what's right and really help one another, I've got no problem with the help part. But if it's just a me-centered attitude, you're not going to get very far with that.
Right. And
No,
and it could be also too, God is speaking to this person
could be.
saying, nope, nope, don't do it. If you're that in
Yeah.
tune with God and you get that feeling. So again, we don't know the whole story. So that's
No.
why, you know, we shouldn't
No.
judge or whatever. But I told you,
Shouldn't
Nick,
at all.
I
No.
was a very judgmental person, man. I judged everybody on everything. Who was I to judge somebody? I mean, look at the life I was
Right. And
living.
who am I? I'm no one to judge
Yeah.
anyone. But when my own life has not been Mr. Perfect, no,
Right. I
not
definitely
at
wasn't
all.
living perfect. I was living against
No.
everything God wanted me to, you know what I mean? So, um,
Well, I tell you one thing between me and you, Dane, we've been through stuff. I've been through stuff of just with the occult, and like I said, I wouldn't want no one to go into the occult like I did. I should have known better.
right.
But did I get a wake up call? Yes, I did. A real quick
Yep.
one too.
I got one too, man. I got one a little different way, but what'd you say, Nick?
Oh, I hadn't said. I was
Oh,
just saying.
sorry. I thought you said
Sorry.
something.
But
I got a
no,
wake up call. I used to call it God was thumping on my forehead.
that's it.
Um, and
Trying
he
to get
was,
your
man. And
attention.
he spoke to me in so many ways, but through Beth, man. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
because, man, for that woman
I know. I
to even
know.
still speak to me is amazing enough.
It is.
You know,
That is.
because I can easily say whatever, and she pissed me off and whatever.
Oh yeah,
You know what? I guarantee she probably had a right to do it, man. You
probably
know,
did. Probably did.
um, I mean, because I did exactly what the Bible says. I was like a roaring tornado through our lives, man. I was just
Yep.
destroying everything.
Tore it up into pieces.
Man, I'm telling you, everything that I could
Yeah.
tear up, I tore up. But my granddaddy told
Tore
me when
it
I was a
up.
little kid. My granddaddy did tell me when I was a little boy. He said you could tear up a Sherman tank with a pair of plastic wire pliers. So, you know, I've been used to
Apparently
tearing stuff
so.
up. Yeah,
Apparently so.
I'm on the other end of it now, man. I'm trying to,
Well, yeah.
put
Amen.
that tank back
Amen.
together.
Amen. Mend
Um,
them broken pieces back one by one.
and
Amen.
I wanted to say this. I was thinking about this earlier too. I don't want people to think that I'm up here thinking that I'm just perfect
Mm,
and all this, that, and the
no.
other. I can promise you, I'm not. I am, man. I've got my flaws and I've got my things. I'm just trying to help you understand that you can, whatever it is you want to do, you can. You
Of course
can.
you can. Look at me.
Um,
I'm living proof of it every day. I have my own radio station, folks. That's proof that you can.
that's pretty
I
big.
mean,
That's a pretty big deal.
yeah, it is.
I
It
mean,
is for me.
yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's, I think about it because when I first come on here, that's the first thing someone said to me, man, you sure you got a radio voice?
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be on the radio. I don't think they'd hire me, but, um, you know, um, I'll use this as my radio voice.
That's right.
I wouldn't want to be I'm a country music guy, in case y'all don't know.
I am too, Dane. I love
But I'm
I
a
love
when I say
I love the country.
when I say I'm a country music, I'm a country music guy. I'm the old
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
You know.
Me too. I like Merle Haggard and the old
Oh
school
man, my
country.
mama was a drinker, so when I was a little boy, my mama would get drunk and play that music and stuff,
Mm.
and I fell in love with it, man. And
Oh yeah. There ain't nothing like country music. That's some of the best. Some of the
no,
very best.
oh man, it's awesome.
It
That's
is.
what I listen to today when I put my headphones in.
Oh
A lot
yeah.
of times, and I really like this Oliver Anthony guy.
Oh.
Um, in case you don't know about him, man, before he does every show, he reads a Bible
Mm.
verse.
Amen.
Um, he is a good guy. He is what Billy Graham said, and Billy Graham is an amazing, amazing man,
Yes, he
in my
was.
opinion.
Yes, he
Everything I
was.
know about him was good. I don't really know anything negative about the man, but he said that times were changing, man, and God's
Right.
voice needed to be heard a different way. The church was failing,
Amen.
is basically what he was saying.
Yeah, he
And
is.
Oliver Anthony, this guy comes out of nowhere, man, makes this song, puts it out there, but his main message is God. You see what I'm saying?
Amen. I
So he
see.
come in a different way. He come in the back door there, boom.
Yes, I do. I see it. I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I pay
Yeah.
attention to that kind of thing. You know what I mean? He's not
Of
up there. He's
course.
not up there like a lot of people are saying he's perfect. No,
No.
he
No.
was smoking dope all day and was going nowhere in life. And um,
Well,
as he said,
if I can be fair, a lot of the your old school country musicians, did they grow up having the easiest lives? No.
no,
No,
mm-mm,
they didn't. A lot of them
no,
messed their lives up before they even probably got into thinking about country.
yep,
You know?
just did. That's a fact. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, Dan?
Man, I'm amazing, man. If I'd be any better, I'd
Yes,
probably
you
melt or
are.
something. I'd probably melt or
Yes, you
something, man.
are.
Yeah, yeah, man. How you doing,
Uh,
buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Before I inflate your ego a little bit, I'll say hi to Nick and Black Dragon. Hope you guys are
All
doing
right.
good.
Hey, we're doing
I
good.
want to say thank you. You know, so I've been dealing with some stuff. Like, so I've never been to prison, never been to jail. Well, I went to jail for a night. I got in a little bit of a bar fight with a girlfriend, and you
Yeah,
know how that goes.
yeah, I know how that
But
goes.
that was it. You know, I was there for the night, and but I've got this guy that I've been dealing with since like 2018. Well, no, like really since 2020, early 2020, and he's the guy that got out of prison. He spent 21 years, you know, and he was a gang leader in prison, and I don't know how to talk to this guy. And he's also schizophrenic. He hears voices. I don't know how much of it is that prison mindset that everybody's out to get me, kind of the prison
Right.
fear, I guess is what I'll
Yes.
call it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know how much of it is that, and I don't know how much of it is legitimate schizophrenia. But I don't know how to talk to this guy. And when he's asleep and I was awake over the weekend, I was listening to some of your stuff, and it allowed me to actually sort of have a conversation with him. Like
Awesome.
I can take him through the steps and whatnot, but I can't sit kind of at his level and have those kind of conversations. I have no framework for it. So I just want to say thank you, because I've been wondering what's going to happen. This guy's been gone for 6 months. Like, he literally just disappeared.
Right.
The only news I'd hear from him is our local sheriff calling me, asking if I'd seen him. Like
Wow.
that, and like, no idea. So I've been wondering what's going to take place, and like, you showed up about literally like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It'll be 2 weeks Monday, man.
Yeah, so you showed up. You show up, and then very, very, like, it was Friday afternoon.
5 days.
He shows up at no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Friday afternoon, because it was Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night he was at my house. So
Man.
that when you're talking about God working, God works. He does some pretty neat stuff. But I do want to ask you a favor, if I can get your phone number on Discord, so that I can have you, or at least have the opportunity for him to have a conversation with you. I think he could get more out of a conversation with you than he could with me, because I don't know.
I'll give you my regular. I'll give you my cell number, man.
Okay.
No problem at all. I'll put it on here.
I don't know how to have that conversation. You do. I mean, and you clearly do.
Yeah, I do. We have to remember, when we hear that somebody was a gang leader, we think that everything was still okay and all glory in there. Right?
Oh, no. Sorry, go ahead.
I put my phone number in the messages. It's there now. It's on the message board. You can get it from there if you can see it. If not, I'll tell it to you. We have to remember.
Can I give it to him?
Yeah, you can give it to him.
I can give it to him on Discord.
Yeah, I've already put it in the message thing. If he don't get it there, if he doesn't see it. Here's the thing, man, and it's demons that you have to live with. I had a lot of these demons, man. Beth will tell you, and that's what I was running from. I was running from them demons because I had to make decisions, I had to make choices, and they wasn't always the right one. But I didn't find out about it until after the fact, and things happen, man, and you have to find a way. Getting cold chills, man. You have to find a way to deal with it, and he's going to have to find his way. You can talk to him, and that's the best thing that you can do, and just keep talking to him, because there's going to come times, man, where he's going to look at you probably and say, man, this dude's fake, this dude really don't care. But it's just that, it's exactly what it is, that prison shit, because you're around, man, you're around the worst of the worst, and there's nothing but pieces of shit in there for the most part, who don't want to change or are not going to change, and you had to live that life. And being the leader of this gang, you have to make the decisions, man, on everything that goes on. People get hurt, man. Things go on, and you have to live with that. And so there's some shit that's went on that he's not able to let go of, and he's going to have to find his way to let go of. Mine hit me later on after the fact, and what I did is God first, man. That's the most important thing, is God first, and then therapy, and maybe medication. It doesn't mean he has to stay on it, but that's a touchy subject, though. You're gonna have to. If he's not open to the medication, he's probably gonna shut you down immediately, because he's gonna think back to
he's less and less and less open to it.
Right, because he sees what prison medication was. You get me? And that was their way of dealing with mental health, was giving them some kind of shit that keep them zombified and keep them asleep all the time. And they wake up even worse.
If you can control the population through medication, let's do that. It's a lot cheaper.
You go, and And that's all the sorry son of a bitches do, man. You know what I mean? They don't,
Right.
they don't try to help you, man. And there's Miss Beautiful Beth. Hey, baby. My
I
wife's
bet.
on here, everybody. But yeah, he's gonna have to. You know, when I would say I'm dealing with demons, everybody might not know what I'm talking about there. You know, and it might not be all from prison, but that's what's causing it because so much goes on in there, man. And you don't know who's who. And you know, for a long time, my back had to be against the wall. I still have to sit where I can see the exit of places. I mean, so many different things, man, that are not going to go away. And I went through the mental stuff and had the schizophrenia. I come out of it. They said mine was from meth, but I never said it. A lot of this, but I think a lot of it was prison too. You know what I'm saying? And so
You
comfort,
know,
man.
I'm getting
Just
that
keep
feeling
doing.
with him that's what it
Yeah,
is. It has a lot
just
more to
keep
do
doing
with
what you're
prison than
doing.
it does.
It does because even like you'll say that someone is your friend, but in the back of your mind, somebody will say, "Well, damn, he's your friend," but you're going, "No, he's really not my friend." You know what I mean? This is an acquaintance I'm talking to. But if you keep showing him, and you'll get there with him, man, you're probably, man, without a doubt, Robert, probably the best thing for him because you're even kilter, man. You get me? And you're there, and you can be the calm voice and let him talk, let him vent, because that's what I used to do. Like I used to say, I would hate it when somebody asked me about prison, but at the same time, I was getting shit out of me, man. I'm talking about it and getting it out of me. And I wished I could say I'd never think about it again, but that's a freaking lie. I think about it every day.
Mhm.
There's not a day goes by I don't think about it in some kind of way. And it's never going to go away, man. It's just, yeah, it's hard. And love, man, and support and just letting them know that you do care. But again, it's probably going to take a while to knock that wall down, man. Um, because that's how he's had to live for so long. He said he done 21 years. Did you do them straight? Did you do 21 straight?
Yep, 21 straight. He got out. I want to say late. No, it was early 22. That's when he got out.
See, I didn't do all of mine at one time. I did 12 at one time. That's the longest stretch I did at one time. But it's still, you know what I mean. And
Yeah, his was
just
straight through.
that's
Yes.
that's a yeah. But you're doing what you can do. I mean, you're showing him that there is someone out there that cares, which is what I'm not just saying this because you're on here, baby. That's what Beth did for me. You know what I mean? This unconditional love that she showed me. And I tell her all the time how much she's the biggest part of who I am today because of that. Because had it not happened, had this not one person come into my life, man, I would not be who I am today. I wouldn't. And so it's the same thing there. It's a different relationship, I understand, between you and a man, but um, it's kind of the same thing
Just
in
a
a way.
minute.
Hey, GGRB, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, Dane?
Man, I'm doing amazing, man.
Sorry to be like 15 minutes of your show, probably the last 15. It's just
Yeah, yeah, I've been going 2 hours.
gotta
Yes.
be doing the dishes because my wife has neuropathy and she has problems with her feet. And
Mm.
I can stand a little longer, but boy, oh boy, some nights the dishes pile up and it takes forever to get done.
Yeah, yeah. I was.
I mean, because I don't have the luxury of having an automatic dishwasher. Because if I did, believe me, I'd be here at the beginning of your
Well,
show.
hell, it would just be problems anyway. It would tear up, and you'd have to have somebody like me come charge you $300 to fix it. So, you don't want that either.
But anyway, I agree with everything you said, Dane. But if you didn't have Beth there to back you up, you wouldn't have the support or encouragement that you have now.
Without a doubt, she has never listened. Anything
Yep.
I ever said that I wanted to do, she has never told me I couldn't do it. She told me I could do
Right.
it. I would do it.
Right.
All the things that I needed to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she taught me to believe in myself, man, because I didn't,
Amen.
because she
Amen.
loved me. And so I was like, well, this love shit's real. I
Yes, it
haven't,
is.
I've been terrible at showing it back the right ways, but I'm learning, man. You know what I mean?
Learning
Dude, I'm
I'm
process.
still
right
learning.
there with you on that. I have a hard time showing my wife. Like I can talk it all day long, right? But when
Hmm.
it comes down to it, being able to actually show her how much I care, that's the hardest part.
There you
Yeah.
go. Maybe you heard that. I ain't the only one. See, this man, this man just said it's not funny, but it's kind of you said something right there, right on time, because it's something I'm currently working on because I don't, man. I fail at it, but I try. It won't let me talk. She said, "Hold
Why is
on,
that?
hold on. Let her see if I can call her in."
Sure.
Um, so I think she was trying to call in and wouldn't let her. I've only got 5 people.
There
There
she
you are,
is.
baby. Hey, honey.
Yeah, it's done that to me a few times.
Hey, baby. You're on here now. You hear me?
Can
I can hear.
I
She
couldn't
muted.
even hear her at all.
can you hear me?
Yes, we
I hear
Yeah.
her
can.
now.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, we
I
hear
sorry.
you.
hear you now.
Well, I just want to say everybody's worthy, and you give me a lot of credit, but I believe it was all God. I believe He brought us together, and I just believe everybody deserves a chance, and people give up too quick.
They do.
Yeah.
When they see somebody struggling like that, they think, oh well, they're gonna stay like that for the rest of their days. We don't want to. You don't need to help him, man. And this, but you know
Yeah,
what? That's not being godly of a godly person either.
No,
that's
it's not.
it.
And
No.
she was raised by a very godly man and woman, and her
Amen.
daddy, I didn't ever get to meet him yet. I will one day, but he he instilled so much. And her grandmother, she had an amazing grandmother as well, and she was raised differently than I
I was
was,
very
and
Right.
we
blessed.
were. Yeah, we were two people from two different sides of the track for sure. And she didn't have a clue. Now she didn't have a clue what she's getting into. Now we met. Now
Right.
she didn't have a
Uh-huh.
clue. But what it's done also is that now Beth helps so many other people in addiction today because of me.
Amen.
She saw the other side of it. She saw the other side of the justice system, and so it made her
Right.
heart now where it is, and that's she's going to help thousands and thousands of people on this journey now. And so,
And that's
um,
good. Amen.
my life now is finally, I'm using it for good, and it's
Amen.
working. I hear these. I've heard 2 stories tonight about what I've done with the show and stuff so far. So
Right.
it's amazing, man. But I know that I know this thing, and I know I'm going to be successful at it. I just
Of
know.
course.
And Beth will tell you when I know that I know,
Of course. So
and
do I.
tonight,
Without a doubt.
you know, and the thing is that this past week I've been down on myself because a lot of people haven't been coming to my live shows, but it's just been my time and stuff. But my downloads are still going good. But tonight, man,
Right.
everybody on here, I want to say thank y'all so much to everybody because whether y'all know it or not, man, y'all come on here and said exactly what old Dane needed to hear. You know what I mean?
I know. Because there's times, and I won't lie, GGRB knows this. The dragon is not, may not always, he may seem like he's always at his best, but in all truth and honesty, we can all have our dark days.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
Including
I
me.
try to
You know,
I try to stay out of that thing, man. But
me
Robert,
too.
back to him. Just
Right.
continue doing what you're doing, man. Let him talk. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to sit there. You don't have to say a lot. I've opened up to Beth more than anybody ever in my life, and there's still a lot of things from my past I don't talk about. Just I just don't. But I'm okay with it today. That's the difference. It's not killing me today. It's not eating me up today. I'm okay with that back there. Like I said, I shut the door on it. The window's still there. I can peek through that curtain to get me a little reminder every now and then when I need
Right.
to put that little jolt in my ass or whatever it is I need. Because that is a very tough life, man. It's a very tough life in there. It's just evil, and you become so cold. And I didn't cry when my grandmother died, man. This is a very, very important woman in my life, and I was in there, and
Uh,
um, my mother told me, man, when I first come home, she was sick or whatever, but she told me one of the very first things she said to me was, "I don't like what I see in your eyes," and I remember that, and that's because I just come home, after doing that 12 years, I was still so cold and
Right.
institutionalized or whatever word you want to use. It was just evil, man. But you have no choice.
No.
Well, I guess you do have a choice. I used to say man or mouse, which one you gonna be? I ain't never been no mouse, and that was my saying. And my other one was
Right.
I'm Superman. I wasn't no freaking Superman. I was Super
Mm.
Girl. You know what I mean? I was a little scared girl. Well, not a girl, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know,
Who was trying to?
yeah, just a scared kid, right?
There you
in
go,
a place
man.
you
There you
don't
go.
know what's going on. Like walking
And I
into
knew what.
walking into a new school,
Right. But I
right?
knew, you know what I mean? If I go in here, I looked around it and I looked around and thought, well, these tough guys are making it. I'm going to be a tough guy. And I was able to walk that tightrope for a long time. I was somebody in there I did not want to be. I'll tell you that. and he can probably tell you the same thing. No matter how much it might look like we enjoyed the shit we were doing, and we might laugh and this, that, and the other, I didn't want to do not one fucking day of it. Excuse me, one freaking day of it. But I did it because I had to. Yeah. Everybody still here?
Yeah, it's still
I'm still here.
Okay.
so I gotta go. I gotta go clock in for work. I just wanted to let
All
you
right,
know.
man.
Just
Thanks
keep doing what you're doing. Also, like even if nobody shows up, if it's just you and one other person chatting, I
Yeah.
guarantee your message is getting out there.
Thank you, buddy. My old buddy Nick, man, he's my rider. He's
Right.
always here with me, man. No matter what's going on, I got Nick there.
Nick's good people. Nick is good people.
Yeah, man. He's been awesome, man. Thank you, everybody. I ain't got but about 5 minutes left.
That's okay.
Um,
Thank you,
I
man.
want to say
Thank you.
thank you to everybody, man. This
It's a
has been
bummer.
probably one of my best shows I've done.
You're
It's been
welcome.
amazing. I've heard a lot of very good encouragement. I need that encouragement too. You know, I need it. I need to
I
hear it
know.
too.
Well, I know you
And
do. We all do. I needed it days at GGR. Like I said, GGRB. Are the two of us together even perfect in this world? No.
nope,
No,
no.
we're not.
And
We
Nick,
need
my
God.
friend, thank you, buddy.
Thank
You're always
you.
there, man. I'll send Nick. What happens is I'll send Nick a text during the day, and I say, "You busy tonight?"
Yeah.
and he's always like, "Nope, I'll be there, buddy." And he
There
has
you
been,
go.
man. He's a trooper. Thank you so
He is
much,
that.
and thank you,
Yeah.
Black Dragon. I know you're on here every
You're
time you
welcome.
can.
I sure do.
And I just want to
It,
thank you to everybody. And here's the thing again, man. No matter what you got going on, pay attention to it. You know if you got something going on, unless you're just mentally incapable of knowing. Reach out. Reach out
That's
to
it.
me if you want to. I tell people Dane Gentry podcast at
Yep.
gmail.com. I put my number on here earlier. Robert got it. So any way I can help, we will. Not just me. It's we. It's me and
No.
Beth. It's us together in this, man. She's by my side on it, and everything's good, man, in the world
Amen.
today, and we can help your world get better as well.
Yes, absolutely. Amen.
God, so everybody, God bless. Everyone have a good
God
night.
bless.
Thank you,
You too.
everyone, and we'll
You're
see you
welcome.
Monday night for the next live show, and I'll be doing a couple records
All
through the
right.
weekend as I always do. Thank y'all so
All
much. We
right.
love
Thank
y'all,
you.
and we'll
You're
talk to y'all
welcome.
next time.
Next time.
See you, buddy.
Take it easy.
All right, man. See you.
See you later, dude.